Archangel Michael says, when the storm quieted and your voice disappeared from their ears, they thought you had surrendered. They mistook your stillness for weakness, your calm for confusion, your silence for fear. But what they didn't know is that your silence was not emptiness. It was strategy. They assumed you had nothing left to say. But in truth, you were aligning with forces beyond their comprehension. While they whispered and plotted in secret, you were being prepared for a divine unveiling. Heaven heard every unspoken word that trembled in your chest. And now the trumpet of justice is ready to sound. The silence they mocked was the pause before thunder. The patience they disrespected was the breathing space before revelation. Every moment you kept quiet, every tear you refused to explain, it built an invisible shield around your destiny. And now, as the energy shifts, the same people who underestimated you will tremble when your presence speaks louder than words. Type Amen to get blessing. 333. You see, Archangel Michael has been watching every move from the unseen dimension. He saw the moment they laughed behind your back, misreading your peace as defeat. But your spirit was never broken. It was merely reserved for the right moment. Heaven was testing your restraint while sharpening your crown. The angels knew that when your voice returned, it would carry the weight of divine authority. The energy around you has shifted, and now your silence will echo louder than their noise. They will remember how they misjudged you, because the next chapter will be their reminder. Every door that once shut in silence will now open in sudden applause. The very ones who dismissed you will whisper your name in awe. And when your next move unfolds, they will realize that silence was your strongest weapon all along. Type Amen to get blessing. For 44, you were never avoiding confrontation. You were waiting for divine confirmation. Archangel Michael stood between you and the chaos, guiding you to stay silent, not out of fear, but wisdom. The higher realms knew that a silent soul is a powerful soul, one that doesn't waste energy proving its worth to the blind. Now the moment has come where actions will speak in lightning and grace will cover you like armor. The light that surrounds you now is untouchable. It reflects every curse back to its sender. Those who played with your patience will meet the reflection of their own intentions. Heaven says your rise will not be announced. It will simply happen, and the world will stand in stunned silence. They will not understand how the quiet one became the storm. They will see that divine timing is never late, only precise. Your silence was not the end. It was the seed buried deep to bloom in divine fire. Tip Amen to get blessing. 555. Now you stand at the threshold of something breathtaking. Archangel Michael says, your next move will not need validation. It will need vision. The winds are already shifting in your favor. The ground beneath you hums with destiny's rhythm. Those who thought you had nothing left will soon witness everything meant for you unfold. Your silence carried divine codes that only heaven could interpret, and those codes are unlocking right now. The tables are turning quietly but powerfully. Do not seek revenge. Your silence already delivered it. The calmness you carried was divine calculation. Those who misread it will soon realize that heaven's warriors fight differently. Stay still because your next step will make the loudest noise. Type Amen to get blessing. 666. Every night you stayed silent while others shouted your name in lies. Heaven wrote your story in gold. You were never forgotten. You were being refined. The silence you endured built a bridge between suffering and sovereignty. Now the universe rearranges itself to fit your next chapter. The pain that silenced you will now become the echo that awakens others. The peace you chose has become your power, and soon every hidden truth will be exposed. Those who betrayed your silence will face the truth they tried to bury. And when your name is spoken again, it will be in reverence, not ridicule. They will realize that your quiet endurance was sacred. The storm they caused will now clear the path for your revelation. Type Amen to get blessing 777. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, the divine record has been updated. Every tear, every held-back word has been counted. The universe has seen your loyalty to light, even in the shadows. Now heaven moves with speed to reward your discipline. You stayed quiet when you could have shouted. You stayed graceful when you could have fought. That restraint became your crown. And now it glows in unseen glory. You are stepping into a moment where your peace will provoke their curiosity. They will wonder how you rose again. How silence turned into strength. You won't need to explain. Your energy will do the speaking. Prepare yourself, for your stillness is about to become your victory's roar. Type Amen to get blessing. 888. In the unseen hours when you doubted your worth, divine eyes never left you. Archangel Michael surrounded your space with protection, knowing that silence often hides the strongest storms. Your spirit was being fortified, not forgotten. Every time you walked away, instead of reacting, your crown adjusted itself. Every time you cried in private, your wings grew stronger. Heaven wasn't ignoring your pain. It was transforming it into evidence. Now the vibration around you shifts like dawn breaking over mountains. Those who misinterpreted your silence will now see the miracle unfold before them. And when they do, they will understand that divine silence is louder than earthly noise. Your rise will be calm but unstoppable. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Do not be afraid of their confusion when you act next. It was never for them to understand. Your silence kept you aligned while they lost themselves in noise. Now heaven's clock strikes, and your next move will shake the ground beneath their assumptions. You are not who you were when they last saw you silent. You have transformed into the version that speaks through presence, not words. The angels have already whispered your name to destiny. And the time has come. Your next move will not be announced with sound. It will be felt like divine thunder across their hearts. They will see and they will know. Your silence has spoken. Now your destiny will roar. Type Amen to get blessing. 1111. Your quietness was never surrender. It was divine calculation. Every word you didn't say became a brick in the fortress heaven built around you. You were learning that sometimes silence is not weakness. It is preparation for something too great to be spoken prematurely. The same people who thought you were done will soon struggle to keep up with your unfolding. The universe was never punishing you. It was protecting you from premature exposure. Every closed-mouth moment was a shield of grace against those who couldn't understand your calling. They believed your silence meant you lost the fight, but you were simply mastering timing. Because Archangel Michael says, silence before revelation is a sacred weapon of destiny. And now that revelation is approaching, faster than they expect and stronger than they can handle. They will regret every whisper that carried your name in disrespect. Type Amen to get blessing. 12:12 Archangel Michael saw the trap set behind your back while you stood calm. You didn't fight because heaven was fighting for you. You didn't argue because your soul was already being elevated to a place where explanations are unnecessary. They read your absence as defeat. Yet your absence was the silence of a seed beneath the soil. Soon the roots broke open and destiny began to bloom in secret. Your silence was never emptiness. It was a sanctuary. And now when the light shines again, they will not recognize the strength that rises from you. For the silence that covered you has now matured into unstoppable power. Those who ignored you will now search for your presence in confusion and awe. Type Amen to get blessing. 13:13 In your quiet moments, angels documented your pain as sacred proof. They saw the patience it took to remain still while others misunderstood your heart. The divine realm was never absent. It was quietly writing your victory in the pages of time. Every insult, every doubt, every manipulation, heaven turned into momentum. The energy that once pushed you down will now lift you beyond reach. They will not understand how your silence became a crown, but they will watch it happen. The days ahead will expose everything. Those who thought you were sleeping will see that you were strategizing. Your silence was the calm before the quake, and now the ground is trembling beneath their illusions. They thought you lost, but you were only learning how to rise without noise. Type Amen to get blessing. 14:14 Archangel Michael says, when you stayed silent, you invited heaven to speak louder. You stepped back and angels stepped forward. You went quiet and justice began to echo through the unseen. Do you feel the shift around you now? It's not coincidence. It's divine motion. The quiet one is being crowned. Those who laughed at your restraint will bow at your release. Every moment you endured silently became a divine weapon. You were not waiting for approval. You were waiting for alignment. And now your next move will speak louder than all the lies combined. You don't need to say a word. Heaven already declared your comeback. Type Amen to get blessing. 15:15 The silence that once felt heavy now glows with meaning. You were being protected from what your voice could not handle at that time. Archangel Michael covered you in quiet light, hiding you from the eyes of envy. They thought they won when you withdrew. But while they celebrated your disappearance, heaven rewrote your destiny behind closed doors. You were not missing. You were being reborn. Every hour they mocked your stillness. Heaven amplified your favor. Now that same silence will roar through your blessings. And when the truth unfolds, they'll realize you were never gone. Just being prepared for greater. Your silence was divine concealment, not defeat. Tape meant to get blessing. 1616, they tried to define your silence as weakness, but Archangel Michael calls it mastery. The energy you withheld became your strength. You learned that not every attack deserves an answer. Some only deserve distance. Heaven applauded you for walking away instead of retaliating. Every time you chose peace, the divine balance tipped in your favor. You didn't lose battles. You simply refused to fight beneath your level. Now, as the cosmic clock strikes alignment, your elevation begins. They will witness the reward of silence turned into divine thunder. They won't be able to speak when the silent one takes center stage. The tables are turning and the quiet one is leading the storm. Type Amen to get blessing. 1717, your calmness terrified them more than your words ever could. They expected you to explode, but instead you evolved. That scared them because control is lost when silence enters the room. You became unpredictable, no longer reactive, but guided. Your silence created mystery, and mystery gave birth to power. Heaven hid you in plain sight while wisdom replaced emotion. Now they sense your next move coming and fear creeps through their laughter. They feel something shifting but can't name it. That's because heaven doesn't announce vengeance. It delivers it quietly. Archangel Michael says they will remember what silence sounds like when it becomes victory. Type Amen to get blessing. 1818, the ones who once mocked your restraint will now seek your guidance. Your silence, once ridiculed, will become a symbol of strength to others. You are being turned into a testimony. Every hidden moment is now unlocking public recognition. Every quiet night is becoming a chapter of revelation. You waited and heaven took note. And now the blessing is scheduled for release. Do not break your silence for noise that doesn't deserve your voice. Speak only when it serves your peace. For what's about to unfold requires stillness again. This time not as defense, but as power. The world is about to hear from your silence, not your mouth. Type Amen to get blessing. 1919. Archangel Michael says the silence you carried was divine communication. When your heart could not speak, your energy did. The angels translated your pain into prayers and sent them to the throne of justice. And now those prayers return as divine manifestations. The same silence that protected you will now bless you. What once hurt will now heal in front of everyone who doubted your strength. Those who plotted during your silence will face exposure. Truth travels silently but lands like thunder. You won't need to fight. Heaven already won it for you. Your next move will not be explained. It will be witnessed. Type Amen to get blessing. 2020. The angels are preparing your stage now. The silence has ended. The unveiling begins. Every delay was a setup and every rejection was redirection. You were hidden for refinement and that process is complete. They thought you were gone, but heaven was saving your energy for this exact hour. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, ensuring every word you speak next comes with divine backing. The moment you move, doors will open. The silence that once made you invisible will now make you unforgettable. And when they see your eyes, they'll understand. Your quiet was never weakness. It was prophecy. The next chapter will speak everything your silence concealed. Type Amen to get blessing. 2121. You held your silence through storms that were meant to destroy you. Every rumor, every twisted word, every unseen betrayal, you endured them without explaining yourself. What they didn't realize is that you were being trained to operate in higher dimensions of grace. The noise around you was loud, but your silence was sacred. It was in that silence that heaven downloaded strength into your soul. You were not retreating. You were resetting. Archangel Michael says, your stillness was not weakness. It was spiritual warfare disguised as peace. You were being elevated in secret while they tried to define your downfall. Now your silence will start speaking louder than their entire story. Type Amen to get blessing. 2222. They mocked your calmness because they could not measure your faith. You didn't argue. You didn't chase. You simply surrendered everything to the divine. That surrender became the moment your life shifted into protection. Every time you held your tongue, an angel drew his sword. Every time you walked away, instead of reacting, your destiny expanded. What looked like silence was actually God defending you through stillness. They thought your peace was passivity. But peace is heaven's most dangerous weapon. Because when you stop talking, angels start moving. And now they will realize that silence can roar louder than 1,000 words. Type Amen to get blessing. 2323. The same voices that once spread lies about you will soon fall quiet. They will watch as the universe rearranges itself to favor your path. The divine clock is turning in your direction now and there's nothing they can do to stop it. Your silence was never empty. It was your agreement with destiny. You trusted that what was yours didn't need defending. You trusted that the truth would surface even if it took time. And now that truth is rising like dawn. The same silence they called weakness has become your crown of power. The quiet soul is about to be known for divine strength. Type Amen to get blessing. 2400 hours 24. Archangel Michael says, the silence you carried made heaven proud. You resisted the temptation to explain yourself to those who never deserved your voice. You let peace speak louder than panic, and that is what set you apart. You were never weak for walking away. You were wise for preserving your energy. The universe was recording every silent act of strength, preparing your public redemption. Every unseen tear was watering the seed of your next miracle. Now that miracle is blooming in front of the same eyes that doubted you. They will wonder how the quiet one became the chosen one. Your silence was your signature of divine favor. Type Amen to get blessing. 2525 You didn't respond because your spirit had already outgrown the level of their noise. You didn't explain because explanations drain what peace restores. You chose distance, and in that distance heaven placed direction. Those who gossiped about you didn't realize they were writing your prophecy. Every word they spoke against you became evidence that God would later use for your vindication. They added chapters to a story that ends in your victory. And now your silence will speak in miracles, not words. Your blessings will do the talking. Your success will make the announcement. The quiet one has become the message itself. Type Amen to get blessing. 2626. When you stopped reacting, you took back your power. When you stopped explaining, you stepped into divine alignment. That silence became a portal to the next level of your life. Archangel Michael says, you didn't need to shout. Heaven was already echoing your truth. And that echo is growing louder, wrapping around those who once misunderstood you. The angels will make sure they hear what you never had to say. You will see faces change, hearts soften, and truth revealed. Silence is not emptiness. It's prophecy unfolding slowly. And now your silence will become the proof that heaven was always with you. Type Amen to get blessing. 2727. They used to underestimate you because they couldn't feel what you carried inside. They thought silence meant you had no strength. But silence was where you became unstoppable. You learned how to listen more than you spoke. And that is where divine clarity was born. Now you walk differently, lighter but sharper. The same silence that once hid your pain now carries your wisdom. You are no longer reacting to noise. You are responding to divine timing. Every delay was a divine disguise. Every quiet moment was a sacred conversation between your spirit and heaven. They'll never understand how silence became your revolution. Type Amen to get blessing. 28:28 Archangel Michael says, your silence confused the enemy. They didn't know what to do when you refused to fight. They expected you to break, but you built. They expected you to speak, but you soared. Every time they provoked you, your silence became their mirror. It showed them who they truly were. Your quietness revealed their chaos. Your calm exposed their guilt. Now they sit in the discomfort of their own noise. While you walk in divine calm, the silence they mocked has turned into the shield that no arrow can pierce. They will learn that quiet ones are never weak. They are dangerous in destiny. Type Amen to get blessing. 29:29. You've reached a place where you don't owe anyone your energy. The power you carry is too sacred to be wasted on explanations. The angels are preparing your next move, and it will speak for generations. The same silence that once hid your pain will now announce your purpose. Every wound is turning into wisdom and every scar into story. You don't need revenge. Elevation is already happening in silence. Heaven will make sure your peace becomes proof. They'll see the glow before they understand the process. Your next move won't just speak, it will roar. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. The quietness in your life right now is the sound of alignment. Don't mistake it for stillness. It's divine orchestration. The pieces are moving in your favor. Unseen but unstoppable. Archangel Michael says, remain still. What's forming behind the veil is greater than what was lost. The silence you're in is heaven's preparation room. Every hidden hour is turning into visible glory. Stay in peace because silence is not your end. It's your transition. The next move you make will shake what once silenced you. The calm before the miracle has arrived. Type Amen to get blessing. 3131.